everybody, it is Natalie from Power Moon Tarot. I hope you're making it through these very intense times that we have been living in recently. Today's reading is called Oh My Stars, and we are going to look at the energy that this solar eclipse is bringing in for you. And on April 8th, in a couple days, we'll be having a solar eclipse at 19 degrees Aries. So if you have planets near there, regardless of whether you have planets near there or not, this eclipse is affecting everyone, actually, in actuality. And it may be affecting everyone a little bit differently depending on where you're at in your life right now. For some of us, we may need to stop for a moment and take a breath and just kind of absorb everything that's been happening and kind of just stop for a moment and appreciate how far we've traveled in this lifetime, and just take a moment to appreciate where we are on this, spinning rock in the universe. For other people, this eclipse is going to be much more, well, that's pretty poignant anyway, but it will be more poignant, and it could represent a tipping point or a crisis in your life. I know some people like me, myself, and people focus a lot on the day of the eclipse, but truthfully, it's the 2 weeks before and the 2 weeks after, and eclipse energy can linger for up to 6 months. So, we're already in the energy right now. And I know for myself, I've been feeling like headaches and pressures on the top of my head, on the top of my forehead, on the front part of my forehead. I've been feeling kind of like, it's like somebody's like pressing a thumb there. And it's interesting because Aries does rule the head. So for those of you that are feeling like pressure on your head, or you're feeling headaches, or you've been, feeling a fever of some type, or you feel like you need to make a decision now, or you need to act on something soon without any regret at all, you may be in that energy as well. And of course, when we have so many planets right now in Aries like we do, we're reminded to, be confident. Confidence, baby, okay, is another message that I have for you guys right now. And also, to hold on to your seats, because things are going to get interesting. And be watching what happens in the world around this time, because eclipses are omens of what's to come. And peace is on the bottom of the deck. So this would be a really good time, for those of you that have a spiritual practice, or your prayer, spiritual practice, meditation, to focus on the energy of peace and healing, particularly when the world is kind of under fire right now. So I'm just going to put this card here. It says peace on it, to remind us that that is the intention that we're working towards, not only in the mundane world, but within ourselves too, to find peace and to find a sigh of relief. But let's go ahead and get into it, everybody. And you've got 3 piles to choose from. Pile number 1 is represented by the pineapple. Pile number 2 is the apple. And pile number 3 is the green pepper. In a world full of war, we choose peace. So let's go ahead and ring the bell. And we will begin. So Rahu, or the North Node, is the star of this eclipse, and we shall see, everybody. We shall see. For most of us, we're already in the eclipse energy, because it's been building since last October, when we saw those eclipses in Aries and Libra starting in October. So we're already we've been familiar now with this energy. Even last year, back in April, we had eclipses, and we had an eclipse at 29 degrees Aries back in April. So we've already had previews of this energy, and we're already as so funny, because my boyfriend and I were talking the other day, and he was talking about like a band called the Hag Attack. And I don't know if there's an actual band or if it would just be Hag Attack, but I don't know why the word hag just came into my head. I mean, I guess I'm getting older, and what a name for a band, Hag Attack. I don't know why. I don't know why I just thought of that right now, everybody, but it's kind of a funny name. So Anyway, on that note, it's good to keep our sense of humor during these eclipse times. But let's go ahead. Pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the pineapple, and today's reading is about the solar eclipse coming up and what this energy in particular means for you. So let's go ahead and dive into the energy and find out what Spirit is wanting to talk to pile number 1 about right now in your life as it relates to this energy, okay? So let's go ahead and see as it relates to the solar eclipse for pile number 1, please, Spirit, can you show us what you would like them to know and what you would like to bring forward for them? What would you like to bring forward for pile number 1, please, on this eclipse? What would you like them to notice and bring forward, please? What would you like to bring forward to their attention? Okay. We have the 4 of Pentacles, and let's go ahead and talk about where you may have been feeling some limitations, or you feel like life has said no to you at times, or maybe things have been unfair in the past. And, you know, that's definitely something that eclipses in Aries can definitely get people fired up to kind of rectify a wrong. So let's go ahead and see what energies we have here. Also, you know, the 4 of Pentacles can be like medicine for the soul for those people that are trying to save money and are trying to be more conservative with the way they're spending their time, their money, their energy, etc., and trying to reserve their energies, okay? But let's see what else we have here. We have the King of Cups and support, okay? And, you know, this time, pile number 1 has a really interesting way of kind of like drawing a distinction between you and another person in your life or certain people in your life, where you show up to be there for other people and to be an emotional support and to be present emotionally, mentally, like to really listen when people are talking and to really support people in a way that feels very nourishing. Whereas other people in your life are definitely more materialistic. They're more concerned about themselves. They're more concerned about what's the bottom line for them. They're more concerned about, you know, lining their pockets and becoming more wealthy. They're more about the bottom line rather than the heart and the soul behind something, okay? And this eclipse may really be highlighting where you've gone above and beyond, and other people are just sort of in it for the money and, you know, or just in it for whatever. But there's a tackiness that I think some of you have been noticing about other people, about just how tacky they can be in these moments. And, you know, perhaps how even though you received a lack of support in your own life, you were trying to show up in a way that is, you know, that provides others with support and care. For some of you, this could be a dynamic at work or dynamic at your job or dynamic with your customers or just a dynamic going on right now with that. We have the 9 of Pentacles and comfort, okay? And feeling like you can rest and relax because you've got money in the bank, you've got, you know, a good solid foundation that, you know, finding comfort in stability, okay? Finding comfort in your own stability at this time, okay? And we have hand in need of help, assistance, and guidance, okay? And perhaps there, you know what I'm getting here, pile number 1, that there is somebody in your life that may need help and support with money right now. And perhaps it's a family member, perhaps it is a friend, but somebody in your life who needs your help and needs your support and needs you to, and I feel you guys are very generous that way. If somebody, you know, giving to charity, if somebody needs help, if donating, if somebody needs something, you guys are like, yeah, I'm there. You don't have to worry. Like, you can rely on me. I'll show up. But then there are other people, perhaps in your family or at your job, or just other people where you're willing to basically give them a hand, but they're not willing to do the same. And you're willing to help others, and you're willing to, provide, but somebody else is not, okay? And this could be a masculine who maybe even has more money than you do, or maybe even has more resources than you do, but you're just more generous of a person than they are. So this is an interesting energy in letting go, okay? And sometimes with the Four of Pentacles, things can get very tit for tat, where it's like, well, I did this, and then you didn't do this, and then you didn't do that, and yeah. And I feel like the Nine of Pentacles is very much an energy of self-reliance and asking for support to the right people instead of the people who always make you feel bad for asking for something, and becoming self-reliant and supporting yourself instead of maybe asking this person for help who always kind of like rubs it in your face, and just kind of letting go of that need to keep score. And, it's like, as long as you're comfortable and you're doing fine with what you have, then resist the urge to compare towards other people. We have here dragonfly and adaptability. And this is one of your strengths, pile number 1, is being adaptable. The dragonfly is a symbol of light and change. It is reminding you to bring a bit more lightness and joy into your life in order to bring about the changes needed to reach your full potential. Approach things lightly. Yeah. And if somebody doesn't want to help, or if somebody doesn't want to offer their support, or they're guarding resources greedily, like, I would let go of it, and I would stop asking them for help, and I would focus on putting your energy elsewhere. Or if you're trying to get someone to join in on a project or invest in something that you're doing, but they're just remaining all about the Benjamins, and they're just remaining very, miserly with the resources, then it's probably time to change strategy and a time to go where there is the support that you actually need, rather than from this particular energy, okay? And to be adaptable, and if somebody isn't willing to help, like, just being able, with this Eight of Cups here, just being able to kind of at this point let it go and focus on where you can find the support that you need. We have no one else is dwelling on your mistakes. Move the fuck on. I do like that energy, okay? And the point is, with this Nine of Pentacles, no matter what you did in the past, no matter if you think that you weren't very wise about money or finances or decisions, that no one else is really seeing your mistakes. I think maybe there is one person who likes to keep reminding of things that were done in the past, or things that were done wrong in the past. But really, that person maybe has a bone to pick with everyone and is kind of a complainer in general. But really no one else is, and who cares what they think at this point? No one else is dwelling on your mistakes or things that you feel you did wrong. I mean, sometimes in life, when adaptability can be a real strength, and changing focus can be a real strength, and letting go of something can actually be a real strength, giving someone the gift of, like, letting go. Here, we have abundance. I am a limitless being, and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. Yeah, definitely. And, focusing on your abundance, your positivity with that, and finding support where, because sometimes it becomes almost like self-abusive in a way when we go to the same person requesting the same thing, and they treat us the same way over and over and over again. And and it can be kind of a way of punishing ourselves, because we know that that person is going to be the same. Like, their attitude, their crusty attitude, isn't going to change at all. And so I also feel some of you could be receiving a gift of abundance, or from someone, or in an unexpected place, like with this King of Cups here, or you could be giving a gift of abundance. And sometimes, like when we do give a gift to someone else, we have to let go of what happens after we give that gift. And we can't really control it anymore. And that's the Eight of Cups energy of like letting go and not trying to control something. Like once something is given to someone, then it's kind of like, that's it. At that point, it's their thing to do something with. And these lessons have been really and also too, there could be like a shyness about asking for help, or because somebody drilled into you early on that that's weakness, or there could be like a resistance to asking for help. But actually, letting go of that resistance and letting go of that and looking for support in the right places may be exactly what is needed and necessary right now. We have Gemini, and I think, okay, and it's like you guys have thought about letting this go for a while, or just maybe going silent or leaving something alone. Instead of, Gemini can be a sign of overthinking, but it can also be a sign of continuing to negotiate, trying to negotiate something over and over again, or trying to get someone to see your viewpoint over and over and over again. And it's like, I'm through kind of talking to this person, or I'm through of trying to convince them of something. And whether you guys were trying to convince this person that you were worthy of something, or that you deserved something, or that you've changed, or that but I also think Gemini is a very versatile sign, and it is very adaptable. It is a mutable sign, and we have the adaptability with the dragonfly energy here. So letting go of an old channel of support where someone was mistreating you, pile number one, and instead like thinking of new ways, or thinking of new ideas and new ways to connect with people who actually, like, where it actually makes sense, and sometimes just letting go of that old channel of I'm not going to try to keep convincing this person or whatever, like talking to them about it or trying to convince them of something. And it's kind of almost like, letting go of an old like sales channel, or letting go of an old thought process about, money and support and the ability to be adaptable in these situations. So yeah, and I feel like you guys are getting, in place of letting go of something, you're getting new ideas, and you're getting new inspiration and new ideas for how you can find the support that you need, or how you can provide support to others that they need, because it's important to you, right? And it's a good lesson in the things that are important to you aren't always important to other people. And they have a right to choose what's important to them, but it may not be something that you would do, and that's fine. But Gemini energy is about being clever, and it's about like working around something, working around a limitation, or just going around something entirely, and just like being like, yeah, I don't, and Spirit is encouraging you, I feel like, on this eclipse to discard a certain way of thinking that you used to kind of have in the past about something. We have schools and exams here, okay? In what areas do you feel inadequate? Are you constantly competing with others? Are you in the process of evaluating yourself and your goals, okay? And this is really like, I really think for some of you, this could be about, going back to school. This could be about, deciding to pursue a professional designation, going back to grad school, finishing your degree, like, even doing a GED for, for some of you, if that's what you want to do. But it is about, and, I'm seeing a kid here too. So it is about, like for those of you that care about children and the education of children, or you've got someone in your family and you'd like to help support that child, or you'd like someone else in your family to help support a child's education, and maybe perhaps this sense of feeling inadequate to provide for someone's support or someone's maintenance in what they're trying to pursue. Okay. And maybe in the past, it's like, I didn't finish that degree and I really wanted to, but I had a kid, or I didn't, I had my baby, so I couldn't finish school, or, and this person's always rubbing it in my face that I didn't finish school, or they're always, or they always are, it limited my opportunities because I didn't finish school at the time, So I think there is something here about that. And, forgiving yourself, pile number one, because maybe at the time you didn't have the support that you needed to do what you needed to do. And, finding the support that you need and being adaptable in those situations. So, and I don't feel like you're constantly competing with others there, because I don't really feel that's your vibe. There may be others around you that are constantly competing with you or have an attitude of me first competition, which is very solar eclipse in Aries. That's a very solar eclipse in Aries. But there could be a thing of comparing yourself to other people. And, in the process of evaluating yourself and your goals and your dreams and the things you want to learn and accomplish, the knowledge and information that you want to share, like, evaluating yourself and your goals. And, am I pursuing something like, am I pursuing a line of study, Gemini energy? Okay, because I think it's going to be really abundant, but it's not what I want. These are some things that could be coming up. And, I feel some of you here, it's like, maybe your whole life you felt constantly judged by some of the older people in your life. Okay, with the Four of Pentacles here representing the Sun in Capricorn, like, the older generation, or just by a parent, perhaps feeling like constantly judged all the time by them, but at the same time, they wouldn't really help you. So it's like, well, what the fuck? So I get it, pile number one. Yes. And the thing is, Nine of Pentacles is that and you've got the Nine of Pentacles twice here. And the Nine of Pentacles in the tarot is the Lord of material gain. So you know how to go out, you got your flow, you're a very successful person, pile number one. Look at that with the Sun. Of course, the Sun is in Aries. The Sun is exalted in Aries, and this eclipse is an eclipse of the Sun. And for some of you, like, the Sun could actually be a child that you have, because there's a little boy here. But I feel like whatever you want to provide to help others have a better childhood than you're going to be able to do it. Like some of you who have kids or you want to have kids, you're already going to be able to provide them with a much more robust and happy childhood than your own was, because I feel like, you really want to invest in the talents of your kids or the young adults around you. Like, you really want to see, like, you really want to see, like, people being creative and embracing who they are and doing the things that make them happy, and for yourself too, not just for kids and things like that, but also for yourself. And it brings you a great sense of rewarding, like a reward within yourself, to see that your efforts have actually, like, helped another person become more confident, become more, like, get in their groove, or discover who they are. Like, that your gifts and the things that you've shared have actually had a really positive effect on others. And Spirit sees that. Spirit sees, like, your work and your investment in things, and what a positive impact you've had. okay? And, you know, the Sun in the Nine of Pentacles is straight up success, you know, and it's straight up recognition and success for really doing the right thing. And not only doing the right thing, but doing it in a very classy and, you know, a very classy and a lovely way, okay? And for those of you who are watching this that are lovely ladies, I feel like Spirit wants to say, you know, pile number one, like you're a lovely lady and you're very classy and you're very like, you know, determined to help make the world a better place, and that you're very giving and generous in that energy, and that energy and that light shines through your soul. And it really helps, like, you know, and even times you've doubted yourself or you weren't sure, you were tired or you wanted to give up, it's like you didn't and you kept pushing forward. And yeah, I feel like Spirit's like, round of applause, congratulations for pile number one. We have temperance here, focus and concentration and the discipline to bring two different things together. And that's another adaptable type of energy. The Temperance card in the tarot is associated with Sagittarius. We've got mutable energy all over this reading. The Nine of Pentacles is Virgo. The Temperance card is Sagittarius. And then we've got Gemini right here. So this way of being adaptable and bringing two things together that you really wouldn't expect is very, you know, exciting. And Temperance can also represent going back to school. It can also represent teachers or finding the right teacher or finding the right philosophy for something that, for two ideas that seem unrelated, but bringing them together is like pure fire, you know? And yeah, and it's the right balance. It's the right way. And it's very adaptable for you guys to be doing that. The dragonfly is a symbol of light and change. It reminds you to bring more lightness and joy into your life. The sun, okay, in order to bring about the changes needed to reach your full potential, approach things lightly, okay? And no need, you know, for the heaviness and the overthinking and all of that. It's like Spirit's like, approach it lightly and things will, yeah, we have the Seven of Wands with Mars and Leo, the ability to tackle something and not be afraid of the things that need to be faced, and to do things with skill also, you know. And it's like, if somebody tells you you guys can't do something, it just makes you want to work harder for it, because there's that sense of pride, I feel like, and pride and dignity particularly. And yeah, I mean, I feel like Spirit is saying you're doing a great job working hard for the things that matter to you, but they want you to be adaptable and approach things a little bit lighter. And that's like the right touch towards things, is what I feel like, okay? And I feel like this hand is pointing up to the Temperance card here, which says something about a teacher who could come in and help you guys, or a training program, or something that could come in and really complete what you've been learning and kind of bringing it all together. But with the Seven of Wands, I feel like Spirit is saying, don't give up. You know, remain faithful in yourself, remain confident, and don't give up on what you're working towards. It's important, okay? So pile number one, that is what I am getting for you, my friends. I hope that that reading resonated for you, my loves. And, you know, cheers to your adaptable energy and making things the way you need to make them. So thank you so much, pile number one. Wishing you a great day and take care. Let's move on to pile number two. Okay. Let's do it. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose the apple, and today's reading is called Oh My Stars for the solar eclipse at 19 degrees Aries. We're going to find out what message Spirit is wanting to share with you guys on this solar eclipse that we are having, okay? And I talked a little bit about the solar eclipse at the beginning, if you're interested in that. And I don't know why it's so weird, but I am just getting some type of psychic message here about somebody being very hung. So pile number 2, anyway, maybe that applies to somebody in your life right now, or somebody that you know, or somebody that you're talking to. But anyway, that is like beyond the scope of this reading, pile number 2. So anyway, pile number 2, or, you know, somebody's got a lot of confidence that way, in that type of way. So let's go ahead and get into it for my pile number 2s and see what message is Spirit bringing forward for pile number 2, please, to show them during this solar eclipse in Aries. What message is Spirit bringing forward to show here for pile number 2? Okay, 2 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, and the 2 of Pentacles can represent where we need to do something very carefully and have a lot of concentration in the moment, and things are changing, but it is the Lord of harmonious change. So change doesn't have to be such a intense process, I guess, if it's done correctly, in the sense of taking one step at a time and not rushing things. Okay, and maybe some of you right now are dealing with somebody that's trying to make a decision and about their feelings about you and someone else, or just you in general. So let's see, pile number 2. Let's see what's going on here. We have the 2 of Wands and planning. We've got justice and truth. Okay. And that's, you know, the interesting thing, the 2 of Wands in the tarot is Mars and Aries, and justice is Libra. And these eclipses are happening in Aries and Libra. So these eclipses are very, very strong for you already, pile number 2. And some of you could have Aries or Libra in your chart, or you're an Aries rising or a Libra rising, and these eclipses are happening in your 1st house or 7th house. Because I do feel there is some type of relationship thing happening here, okay? We have Bat, take care, enemies are working against you. Jeez, okay, like being careful with the situation with the 2 of Pentacles, okay? Spirit just saying, be careful. There is, you know, enemies is a pretty strong word, right? Okay, but I also feel like, you know, it's because you guys maybe pointed out the truth about something to someone, pile number 2, or you saw the truth about something and you're like, yeah, I mean, justice is very intelligent, very smart, sees the truth, sees things for what it is. So good luck to any enemies plotting against you, pile number 2, because I really don't think they're going to have that much success. I think you're going to go forward with what you've been planning anyway, even if there are people that don't like you or don't like what you're deciding to do for some reason. We have the Rebel. Ooh, okay now. And you just hate me because you ain't me, is what I feel like for you. These people, for some reason. And again, I feel like you're just too quick, or you're too clear-headed, or you're too quick with things to really care what anybody has to say about it. You also are just like, you know, I don't really, like, I'm doing what I want to do. I'm doing the right thing for me, and I don't really care what you think, okay? Now, for some of you, a situation that I'm getting here is that there is a romance or a love situation or something going on here where, you know, there's someone that you want to be with and they want to be with you too, but there's people that are not happy about you being with this person, okay? And anyway, are some of you involved in a situation where someone is leaving their spouse for you, or somebody is leaving their relationship, okay? And, or is, you know, I mean, Justice is a card that's very concerned with karma. So I feel like you guys have been as careful as you can with this situation, or maybe you've been weighing out whether you would like to stay in a situation with a significant other, and you're like, yeah, I'm planning to go. You know, the Two of Wands, I've been planning to go for a while. I've just been, you know, waiting for the right moment or the right time. And you know, justice really does have to do with balancing karma in a situation, but this person's a bit of a wild card with this rebel energy here, okay? And let's see what else we got going on. We've got the spider and manifestation. You know, it's so funny. There was a spider by my front door that like weaved a little web right by where like the front door alarm was, like right under it. And I let it stay there for a while, but the other day I actually got rid of it and I felt kind of bad. But it's interesting that the spider is coming up. It says, you weave your web in life. What you see before you are the result of your thoughts. If your current reality does not suit you, then it's time to make changes through conscious manifestation. Your energy can bring in all you desire. You know, you weave your web in life. That's interesting because, I mean, spiders are always thought to be, you know, especially like the female spiders, like the Black Widow devouring the head of the, you know, we could mate, but I'd have to kill you type of thing. Like, you know, spiders definitely have an energy about them, but you weave your web in life also kind of sounds similar to like you made your bed, now lie in it, or you made your bed, now you need to kind of lie in it. And I do feel like with this rebel energy here, there is somebody who's wanting to break free from a situation, regardless if it's fair to the other person or not. And it could be upsetting other people who are not wanting that person to go, all right? And it says here, you've come so far, keep betting on yourself. Yeah, regardless of what happens with this particular situation or what choice this person makes, keep your side of the street clean and be honest with yourself about, you know, the decisions that you're making. But Spirit is saying, you know, like, I mean, if you know where you're headed and you know what the consequences are, pile number 2, and you're fine with it, Spirit's saying, keep going. You know, you've come so far, keep betting on yourself, okay? Keep betting on yourself because you've come so far. And let's go ahead and see what else here. We've got surrender. I can release my need to control. Yeah, and these people, take care, enemies are working against you. They cannot, that's their problem, is that they cannot surrender and they cannot release their need to control or their need to meddle in things, okay? And coming between you and another person, okay, I feel like kind of these people can't really resist like butting in or trying to control situations, all right? And, you know, if you've been trying to point out to another person, you know, the truth here and what's been going on, and this person refuses to see it or they just don't care, you know, that's kind of on them, pile number 2. But interesting energy. I can release my need to control. I feel that's something your enemies have a very hard time doing, no matter how many times you point out to them what's actually going on. All right, and let's see here. We've got the lunar eclipse and change. Now, you guys have eclipse energy all over your reading. I mean, we just had a lunar eclipse at 5 degrees Libra, okay? So, you know, that lunar eclipse happened on March 25th, and perhaps things have been up in the air or there's been a change in someone's relationship status since that lunar eclipse on March 25th. I do feel like there is some significant relationship things going on for you guys right now. And the thing is, is your plans need to move forward regardless of whether this person is with you or not. So, you know, your plans for your life, where you're headed, your truth, you know, they need to they need to move forward no matter whether this situation happens or not. Because the thing is the situation with this particular person is very much touch and go. It's very emotional. Lunar eclipses are very emotional. It's constantly changing. It's this person could be very Uranian in the sense that they're not that stable about things. Like they keep saying, oh, I'm leaving, or I'm going, or I'm changing, or I'm doing this, or I'm getting away from this. But it's like they keep, and I feel like you guys are kind of like, why? You told me you were going to change, right? Or you told me why? Like, I feel your guys' thing is a big question mark to this person. Like, why? You told me things were going to be different. You told me things were going to change. Like, why? And maybe you did tell this person, hey, you know, you make your own bed in life. If you make that bed, you've got to sleep in it, type of thing. You weave your own web in life. And what you see, maybe you guys told this person, hey, truthfully, you weave your own web in life, and what you see in front of you is the result of your current actions and thoughts. And if your reality doesn't suit you, then hey, person, it's up to you to change that, and it's up to you to take that step. And I kind of feel like this person is like they want to change, and they want to just rebel against a situation and not like care about the past or whoever in their past. Like they want to just take off and you know, and maybe this person is abandoning someone, or abandoning a mother, or abandoning the mother of their child. I don't know, pile number 2. This is a very interesting reading because I can see this person here is looking at a family with 2 kids and then one person, you know, and is trying to decide, do I stay with this family and these 2 kids, or do I pick you, pile number 2, okay? And maybe some of you are the one with 2 kids yourself, and this person's trying to pick between you and someone else that they met, okay? And I can see there is something major going on here. And, you know, this person doesn't want to be held down by anything anymore. But the thing is they may not even really want to be held down by you either, or just by anyone in general. But I kind of feel like they're trying to weigh out what they should do. Now, this situation in the middle, this person is not willing to release control or surrender in this situation at all. Now, you know, if it's somebody, a mom, and it's their 2 kids or their child, and they have a child with this person, I can see why they don't really want to let go of control over a situation. But I also feel like this person wants to be, they have a lot of responsibilities in this, but they want to be free from it as well. And you know, big things have been going on, like ever since, for you guys, ever since these eclipses started in October, or even last April, when we had the eclipse at 29 degrees Aries. Like, you know, maybe for some of you here, like your relationship life has been, you know, there's been some things that have been a hot mess. And the thing is if you wanted to move forward with your plans and with the truth as you see it, and Spirit is saying, you've come so far, keep betting on yourself. You know, and I feel some of you have been trying to show this person the truth about, you've been trying to show this person the truth about a situation. Hey, you know, this is the better decision for you because XYZ 1, 2, 3, or you've tried to show them, hey, this situation isn't even fair to you. Like, why are you in it? Okay, but at the same time, I kind of feel like this person has been very unsure and has been bouncing back between these different alternatives. And I feel like you guys are like, why did you change your mind to this person? I thought you saw things the way that I saw them. Okay, so yeah, this is an interesting one, pile number 2, and the eclipse energy is really hitting you guys hard. And you know what? This card just fell out of the tea leaf deck onto my floor, and it says yoke, and it says feeling tied down or frustrated. Okay, so I do feel like this person feels tied down and frustrated with their situation. And I do feel like there's 2 people here and they're in the middle and they're tied down, and this is the situation. But at the same time, like, you know, I don't know, pile number 2. I don't know. I feel you have to keep pushing forward in your own life, in your own plans, regardless of whatever decision this person makes. You know, that's pretty clear here. Oh my gosh, we have sex. Maybe some of you are thinking about sleeping with this person, or you've been talking to them. And you know, that's so funny because I mentioned the word hung at the beginning of this reading. And, you know, sexual energy. Look at these 2 sharing sexual energy. I mean, I feel like their sexual energy is much more keyed into you, or it's much more about you, you know. And you know, the thing with the 2 of Wands is justice is sometimes no matter how righteous and right we are in a situation, or how hard we're willing to fight for something, 2 of Wands, to make someone see the truth about something, it doesn't always, you know, it doesn't always like go the way that we think it's gonna go, you know. And perhaps there is, you know, I talked about the spider energy and that whole, I used to have a t-shirt back in the day when I was a teenager with a picture of a black widow on it, and it said, we could mate, but I'd have to kill you. And I think I got it at Hot Topic, and I wore it with my leather pants. You know, I was a real, you know, that's the Natalie of 16 years old. But anyway, that's the spider energy there, though. That's the draw you into my web kind of, you know, only to take control, and then only to kind of, you know, ram my agenda down your throat type of thing. And, you know, maybe there is something here where you guys have been wondering, why did this person change, or why did they go back, or, you know, why is it taking them so long to make this type of a decision, right? And this person deciding if they want to take the relationship sexual with you or not, or if you guys should do it again. I mean, sex is definitely coming up here. Pile number 2, it definitely is. And it says, do you feel disconnected to yourself and others? What do you need to feel more loving? Do you feel your needs are not being met? Okay. And, you know, maybe you don't feel like your needs are being met sexually. Okay. And, you know, like, sex is coming up here, pile number 2. The topic is, you know, fidelity, infidelity. What does infidelity actually mean? Is someone happy sexually? Are you happy sexually with what you've been getting sexually from this person? Is it just about sex? Is it about more? Is there a relationship here? Like, so many questions, and I feel you guys really want the truth, and you've been planning to talk to this person and ask this person about what's going on. But some of you could be wondering, like, with the eclipses, is this a good time to even like reach out on these topics? Because I feel like this person is still very much in the wind about things in a certain way here. They're certainly taking their sweet time with this 2 of Pentacles, okay? Now we have Judgment here, okay? So we have the Knight of Wands, passion, fire, connection, rocking someone's world. You know, this Knight of Wands looks like a rocker and is, you know, rocking somebody's world here, okay? I want to rock. I want to rock pile number 2's world, Okay, but if I rock pile number two's world, I will destroy my world. You know, judgment card here. It's like, I want to rock. But at the same time, what are the consequences of that? And sometimes, you know, eclipses can really make us aware of, you know, acting on impulse and how it can sometimes like destroy things, and maybe actually having sex with somebody too soon, or sexually, it's like with this Two of Wands in Justice, like, yeah, we had a plan to take it there and it was a good plan, but it fell apart or it didn't go the way that I wanted, and now it burns and now it hurts, right? And I'm not sure what to believe now, and I can see that here, pile number two. We've got the Two of Cups, taking someone's pulse to kind of see if, what they're feeling is real, that type of thing. Okay. And, I feel like the last time you talked to this person or the last time you saw them, you could tell that they were conflicted. I was going to say eclipsed, which is so funny, because to eclipse something is to occult it or to block it out. But I feel like the last time you saw this person, talk to them, or with them, they did seem distant. And I do think perhaps maybe you were trying to get a pulse or a read on the situation. You could tell that they were there because they had feelings for you. But at the same time, you were wondering if they still have feelings for this other person, or what's really going on, or how do they really feel. And, the Two of Cups can also represent a really romantic moment where certain things are said and certain things are promised. And, I feel like at that moment that this person promised something, they were also conflicted, though, in their feelings. And, and maybe it left you guys thinking, like, is this only like sex then? Like, what is this thing? Okay. And, I do feel this person was or is conflicted themselves about whether they should take it there, and, they could be worried about this other person's reaction to things too. Like, if you go there, if you embrace the like moment with someone and really go there, then it could really like cause a lot of change and upheaval. The Judgment card, it's like we had this beautiful moment together, we shared this passion together, but where is it now is what I kind of feel. And I don't understand like why I can't have that now, and I feel like you lied to me, or I feel like you promised me something. But I also would let you know, pile number two, that, maybe in the moment that you felt like you and this person were connecting, because I feel you're intuitive, pile number two, and I feel like you could tell in that moment that there was something. If you really search within yourself, pile number two, I feel like you can tell that there was something that was conflicting this person or bothering this person. And because I feel like your intuition is really strong. So you picked up on something inside this person that was changing from what they were like before. Okay. And we have the Hanged Man here. Okay. So this person is stuck, I feel, and, with the Hangman, like sometimes we can feel like we're kind of stuck in a fantasy, or we're stuck in limerence, or we're stuck in like thinking about, the romance of a moment or a certain passionate moment that we shared with somebody. And here's what I'm going to say, pile number two. I do feel like this person had real, legitimate romantic feelings for you, or they have real, legitimate romantic feelings for you, but they are highly conflicted they're highly conflicted about something here. And they're highly conflicted about how to reconcile what they're feeling and the truth of what they're feeling against the passion that they're feeling for you, okay? And regardless, though, I feel like you're a person that's going to keep surviving and keep stepping, pile number 2, because you're strong in what you believe and where you're headed in life, regardless of whether it's with this person or not. And this has been a confusing situation with this hangman here, okay? Because on one hand, they want to take it there, you know, pleasure, passion, go with the flow, live in the moment. But on the other hand, they're deeply conflicted, you know, and their kind of decision is to sort of like live in the, what's the P word? Live, when I'm channeling, sometimes I can't remember. Purgatory. Yeah. Their choice is to live in a purgatory and kind of live in the emotional ambiguity of wanting to leave or wanting to change, but living with the consequences of that. And so they're kind of in this feeling tied down or feeling frustrated space and pulled between two different things here. And pile number 2, interesting energy, my friends. And you know, sometimes with judgment, there's a need to kind of like get something out of our system or to burn something off, you know. And I mean, this is what I feel is kind of the most important advice for you guys, is that you've come so far. Keep betting on yourself and keep betting on your own truth and keep pushing your own self forward, regardless of what happens with this situation or not. And I get that it is frustrating. And also, I kind of feel the spider messages for you guys too, about you weaving the web in your life and you weaving how complicated this web is, you know. And I feel like some of you are realizing, no, I need to make a change here with this Judgment card. Like I need to make some changes that are for me and embrace some truths that are for me and have nothing to do with this situation, because Spirit's kind of reminding you, you weave your own web in life, and what you see before you are the results of your actions and thoughts in the world, okay? And yeah, so I kind of feel like that's kind of a reminder from Spirit, you know. And judgment can also be where we are trying to control a situation too much, and we're trying to control ourselves or other people too much. And you know, the hangman really does have to do with surrender. I can release my need to control. And there is a lot of controlling energy in this reading, whether it's from them or you or, you know, the other person or whoever else is involved in this. And sometimes we just have to see things for the truth, you know, like how much control do we have control over our minds and our actions, but we don't have control over other people's. And so, yeah, anyway, pile number 2, that is what I am getting for you, my friends. What an interesting reading. And I hope that the reading resonated for you and that it provided some, you know, truth for you in that. And I'm wishing you all the very best, my friends, okay? Take care. Let's move on to pile number 3. Okay. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the green chili pepper, and today's reading is about the upcoming solar eclipse on April 8th. We are already in the energy of that eclipse. It's already been here, been there, done that. I feel like at this point we should just be kind of used to it. But anyway, I'm in the path of totality, so I will be viewing the solar eclipse, which is going to be pretty awesome. I hope I can get some good shots of it. If I do, I'll share it on YouTube with you guys. So let's go ahead and see. For pile number 3, what is the energy that Spirit is wanting to bring forward here to draw to pile number 3's attention as we move into the solar eclipse? What is the energy here that Spirit is wanting to bring out for pile number 3 as we head into this solar eclipse? Okay, what is the energy as we head into this solar eclipse? Ooh, the Lovers. Hey now, that's sexy. Pile number 3. Let's go ahead and see what else we have here. We have the 4 of Swords and recuperation. Yeah, eclipse season is intense. So if you need a break, definitely. We have Knight of Pentacles and trust, okay? And being able to relax and trust in someone in particular. And, if somebody's been kind of silent or you haven't been hearing as much from this lately, I don't think it has anything to do with you, pile number 3. I think it's just that person is needing to rest and relax. I do feel the person is trustworthy. We have Beetle and good fortune. Ooh, well, we like that. We do like that. Good fortune. And we have consciousness. Ooh, okay. Pile number 3. And, I feel there's a lot of self-trust in your reading right now. And there is this eclipse for you guys is very spiritual, I feel. It is about resting. It is about, even if you don't feel like doing anything right now, even if you need to take some time off or rest a little bit, trust that you're going to get your energy back and you're going to be back to your productive self. And maybe perhaps some of you are embracing a meditation routine. You're taking some time to take care of your body. You're taking some time to take care of your nutrition, to develop good habits, to rest from the busyness and the craziness of life, okay? And also, I feel for some of you too, with a love situation, the Lovers isn't just about love, but it is about meeting somebody where you guys can not meet. It's not always about meeting somebody. Sometimes it's about meeting yourself where you can really connect with yourself. But it also can be, having a meeting of the minds with somebody where it's like there is this weird connection or this weird attraction, and it's hard to explain. It's hard to put words to, but it just feels like you two are kind of in a bubble with each other when you're together, and that you kind of understand each other without really having to say a whole lot. And that's a really special thing. Sometimes words are, and I would say the Knight of Pentacles is maybe not as, especially the 4 of Swords too. Maybe it's time to cut back on the words or cut back on all the over, I feel during eclipses, it's like, let's not overshare any details. Let's not gossip. Those things are not necessarily good anyway, but gossiping, oversharing, sometimes eclipses are a good time to be more aware of those energies and to kind of stay away from them and just stay in your own little bubble, and consciousness, this eclipse is really especially to your third eye, I feel, pile number 3. And this eclipse is actually, it says good fortune. So it's bringing you good things, I feel, stability, rest, opening up your third eye. We have here turtle and calm. Yeah, keep calm and carry on. And one of my messages for early on, when I started the reading, was for some people, this eclipse is going to be like a shot of adrenaline. For other people, it's going to be time to stop for a moment and breathe, And all is calm on the Western Front. Let's all stop for a minute and take a deep breath. Turtle wisdom teaches us about walking our path in peace and sticking to it with determination and serenity. I love that, you know, and the beetle energy is kind of like that too, like just walking its path, not moving that fast, but walking with calm and peace and serenity. Turtle wisdom, and it also has that hard outer shell, just like a turtle does, but is steady as she goes, you know, slow and steady wins the race. Like, so not letting eclipse season like freak you out or cause you to kind of like make rash decisions or feeling like pressured to act on something. Like, no, I feel that energy isn't really for you guys. Now, some of the other piles had some more different energy, but your guys' energy is more like remain calm, keep calm and carry on. Turtle wisdom teaches us about walking our path in peace and sticking to it with determination and serenity. You may be encouraged to take a break from your busy life and look around or within you for more grounded, long-lasting solutions. So, like I said, if you need to take a break, that's very Four of Swords. Like, you know, take a day off, take a break, take some time to stop and breathe, smell the roses, right? It's a beautiful spring day. Spring is here, spring is sprung. Like, you know, walking around in your garden, feeling the grass beneath your toes, like, you know, all these signs that life is emerging and life is waking up. And the turtle teaches us, like, you know, with all this fiery energy in Aries, like right now, all the planets are either in Pisces, Aries, or Taurus, with the majority of them in Aries. And so there's a lot of people out there that are very not calm during this eclipse and are very hyped up. And, you know, this could even mean like staying away from caffeine, staying away from any kind of uppers, like, you know, staying away from any uppers or downers in general. Just, you know, calm, sober, walking through the garden, you know, this is my life, this is my breath, this is my time. I'm not rushed. I don't need to move so quickly right now. I'm taking a break, you know, and maybe some of you already are taking the day of the eclipse off from work. And if you are, good for you, because that's a perfect day to just chill, like drink some Robios tea and crunch on some almonds and just sit in meditation. You know, that is actually a wise bodhisattva type of a thing to do on an eclipse. And, you know, that's what I would normally, I mean, if you're in the path of totality, then yeah, you may want to go look at it with glasses, of course. But you may want to go look at it because it's a historical event and I'm definitely going to be viewing it. But if I wasn't in the path of totality, I'd probably just be at home, you know, sipping my tea and fasting, which is normal eclipse protocol, right? And, you know, the Nine of Pentacles is also about good body habits, good sleep, relaxing, walking, chilling. Like, it's not in a rush. Out of all the nights, it's, you know, because the nights are more kind of like rushing around and doing things. But the Knight of Pentacles is the most chill out of all the nights. So chill it out. Wow. It says here, this is from the Listen Bitch deck, which I love. And it says, listen, bitch, drown out the fucking noise and keep doing you. And then we have a sparkle pony or a sparkle unicorn. Drown out the fucking noise and keep doing you. Okay, so that's if people are leaving, you know, I mean, other people may be freaking out right now. They may be in a mass freak out. People may be yelling, crying. You know, I was in a situation where I was listening to someone, they randomly started, and I didn't know the person, but they randomly just started crying on me, and which is better than screaming and yelling. But like, you know, other people may be a little bit like dramatic right now and maybe a little bit wild right now. So it might be just, you know, just like drown out the noise and keep doing you. All right. Like, if stay in your bubble, if you do have somebody that you love and care about and you feel that energy and that vibe with, vibe out with your person, okay? Vibe out, spend the day together, chill, do something creative together, like drown out the noise, keep doing you. And we have service. I feel good when I can help others. And, you know, getting some good fortune and getting some good benefits from your sense of helping other people, pile number 3. And for those of you that are, you know, witches, readers, spiritualists, and you have businesses or you're counselors or, you know, or you do any type of a service, do people's hair, any service really, it can be hard during eclipse season because we tend to get really drained and exhausted. So, you know, I know you guys feel good when you're helping others, but also just, you know, keep your eye on your nutrition, your health, your rest. Because I think if you get some rest, you're going to come back ready to do more and you'll be happy about that. But I also feel like it's like just keeping things really simple. And this eclipse is also setting up a pattern for you guys of good fortune through the services that you provide. So any of my entrepreneurs here who have side hustles or just your entrepreneurs in general, or you've got some goals that you're working on, like be calm, be easy about it, take care of yourself. Good fortune is naturally occurring and happening for you, okay? Oh, we've got the 5th house in creativity. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And that's where I mentioned here, because I was looking at all the orange on the Lovers card in this deck, and ooh, look at the King of Wands. Well, that's kind of sexy, isn't it? But anyway, I was looking at all the orange in the background of the Lovers here, and I was thinking of like the sacral chakra. I was thinking of creativity, you know, like doing something really creative, or, you know, the 5th house also has to do with pleasure, making love, getting it on, taking it easy. Okay, maybe taking your kids, for those of you that have kids, you know, taking the kids to do something fun, drawing, art class, you know, going to a play, going to a museum to check things out, like, you know, something that kind of like spurs your creativity, that involves something fun that you like to do. And maybe some of you here with this service and beetle, like you are a very hard worker with the Knight of Pentacles, and you are very dedicated and you do work very hard, but you're also conscious of your need to embrace your 5th house and kind of feed your creativity, art, music, dance, go to a concert, you know, take the kids to go jump on trampolines, you know, take your own self to jump on trampoline, whatever you like doing, golf, music, you know, fashion, creativity, all of that type of stuff is highlighted for you. Maybe some of you are having the eclipse in your 5th house, and it's like, or your 6th house, okay, with service here. And it's like, yeah, you know, I am conscious of my need to, I don't want a lot of drama in my life, but I do like to, and I feel like you guys are conscious of where people can be very melodramatic and be very like, you know, theatrical and melodramatic about things in their life, or people who are always like complaining, or they're just very dramatic about, oh, everything's the worst, everything's horrible and awful and bad, or they're smiling one minute and then you know, crying the next minute. Like, you know, there's a lot of dramatics and during eclipses, and I feel like maybe for some of you, your kids have even been more dramatic, and it's like, mom, you know, or like just complaining or crying about things, and it's like, oh my goodness, I do need the patience of a bodhisattva to go through this, you know. But I do feel like it's good though, you know, like you guys are conscious of when people are acting out and when they need attention and when they're acting very drama, like, you know, you're conscious of it. You're not gonna like really let it bother you that much. I mean, I kind of feel you guys are old souls in pile number 3. Like, you've been there, done this. You've done this eclipse thing. You barely even need me, pile number 3, at this point. We have connection. Interesting. Okay. We are all connected by a universal sea of energy. All that you think and do will have an effect on the world. Reach out and connect with the world around you through love. Right, so look at all the hands and, all the different colors and of the skin and the world and the connected. And maybe some of you have like friends in different places or friends all over the world, or you'd like to have, more diversity in your life and more connection in your life. This type of thing. I also feel like, reaching out to friends and saying, hey, just checking in. I know this eclipse is kind of crazy, and just checking to see how you're doing. And or if you're feeling a particular energy, like, dang, I'm drained, I'm exhausted, I need some time off, I need, like that type of thing, you could tell your friend that, and they're like, oh yeah, no, me too, I'm in the same energy. I feel people are going to be trying to connect with your energy during this eclipse, pile number 3, because you are so calm and you're so conscious of where people maybe shoot themselves in the foot sometimes because they're being melodramatic or over dramatic, and they're like, you can see the two faces here, one's laughing, one's crying, and it's like, and I feel you guys are like, like this person right here, you're like, don't start the dramatics with me, you're like, I'm not trying to get involved in any whatever theatrical dramatics. But I also feel people are trying to connect with you because they like your energy. They're like, wow, I want to be around somebody who's so calm and grounded and normal, during these like weird times, So like your ability to just kind of keep calm and carry on in the middle of the storm of life, I feel like other people are like freaking out over little things. They're being really, and it's like, and I don't feel like you guys are really judging anybody for it. You're just conscious of it. You're aware of it. Your consciousness is kind of rising higher than I feel like the petty dramatics or the gossiping or the whatevers, like, but at the same time, maybe you've been spending some time alone, or you've been, drowning out the noise and just doing a lot of alone time. This eclipse may bring up for you a need for connection, to connect with old friends, to talk to old friends, to connect with a lover. Like it may also bring up the, like, yes, I need to drown out the noise and do my own thing and focus, but I also need connection too. And again, keep in mind the balance point to this eclipse is K2 in Libra. And there's nothing else in Libra right now besides the South Node or K2. And it kind of made me think about, like little lonely K2 in Libra just sitting there by itself with all these other planets like way far away from it. And its really only connection is, Pluto is also the other planet right now that is like in Aquarius. I almost said in Scorpio, in Aquarius, and it's not really like, it's aspecting things, but it's just sitting by itself. It doesn't have any other planets next to it. And so, there kind of is this, like with K2 in Libra by itself with no other planets, there kind of is this long empty shadow in Libra. And of course, Libra is the sign of social interactions and, social togetherness and relating with others. And so maybe that's something that you guys are like, no, I do need to like relate with more people, and I do need to talk with more people, and I do need to catch up with more people, but I also really don't want to get sucked into like the drama of everything. So I get it. I get where you're at with that, pile number 3. And anyway, it'd be interesting maybe to check in with some people that you haven't checked in with recently and see how they're holding up and if they're feeling the same kind of universal energy that you are. We have the World. Oh my God. And it says, this connection card has a picture of the world on it. And the back of a turtle, its shell is often like compared to that world energy too. And here's you in your own little bubble, okay? In your own little decahedron or your own little, isosceles triangle, pile number 3. You're definitely in your own, and you're happy. You look happy in your bubble. You're like, heck yeah, I'm in my bubble, Natalie. And I'm going about my business and I'm staying mature and I'm staying strong and I'm not letting, I'm drowning out all that fucking noise and I'm just staying in my own little decahedron over here, okay? It's a very mature attitude, and, realizing just how much you've matured and how much you are not really like pulled into the superficial anymore, really, and you're just kind of in your own world. But we see the Six of Swords here, okay? And there could be a bit of a sadness though, or I feel like for the last 6 months, actually, you guys with the Six of Swords, for like the last 6 months, or maybe even 6 years for some of you, you've had to make some sad goodbyes, or you've had to like really face some losses, and move on from those losses. But I actually feel like you're doing better. You're like, you know what, even though I had to say goodbye to certain people and certain places and get my mind right and get my money right and like get everything right, like I'm actually way better. I'm actually like feeling better than I was in the past. Maybe even than 6 months ago, pile number 3. Like, I do feel like it's a good time to stop and reflect and go, even 6 months ago, I wasn't as like doing as well as I am now. Like, I feel positive, I feel happy. But then maybe you're also like, but yeah, I'm also in my own little bubble too. And maybe that's where you need to be right now. We have the Seven of Swords. You're like, yeah, because Natalie, I developed self-respect and I'm not chasing after, like sadly chasing after people that don't want to be my friend or don't want anything to do with me. There's a big thing with the World card about self-respect, self-reliance, okay? And other people can be very disappointing, Aries eclipse is where we can really want to focus on being independent. And sometimes we get ultra independent that way because other people are very unreliable and they're not very committed to something. And so, like we just become very like insular, and that can also be a trauma response sometimes in life too, where people continually let somebody down, or they're not committed, they're not there, they lie, they break their promise to something, and it feels very emotional and it feels sad. But also kind of, I feel this stuff is more in the past, pile number 3, and it's more about like now that you've come to this place of self-sufficiency and maturity and really liking the world that you've created for yourself, like how do you let more connection into your life, how do you let more of that into your life without being like, paranoid about people being dishonest and betraying you and stuff like that, and we have the Eight of Cups here. I love this Eight of Cups in this particular deck in the Light Seers Tarot because it's like very poetic, it's very beautiful. And it's not that sad. Sometimes letting go and walking on by yourself is like is actually really positive, and I feel like in the past you guys already went through disappointments, or you already went through like the release of something big. And so like each day as you take a new step forward, like things become lighter and easier. And when we talk about drowning out the noise, that can also be the noise in your own head that's telling you that you should feel some certain way. And it's like, no, I actually feel lighter and freer. I actually feel like more like myself. And, because I didn't like stick around and stay in that situation that was really felt, and I actually feel like on this eclipse, someone could be missing you, pile number 3, and wanting to connect with you and like thinking about the good times that you guys had, or wanting to reconnect with you in some way, or curious about the mysterious absence of pile number 3 from the circle of drama, you know, and it's like, what's going on? Like, and the thing is you guys are good. Like, you've been doing fine, actually. And you guys may hear from somebody who you thought didn't really care about you or didn't really like mind that you were even gone or wasn't even really that attached to you. Like, I feel you guys could actually hear from someone, and it could be a friend, a family member, an ex-lover. Hopefully not an ex-lover. I know how, you know, the lovers are here, but anyway. But I kind of feel like you guys walked away from something with peace in your heart and in your soul. And maybe it didn't feel that way at first, but over time it's become that way. And I kind of feel some of you may hear. This is a Mercury retrograde. Keep in mind that while this eclipse is going on, Mercury is also retrograde and in conjunction with this eclipse. So if you tend to hear from people from the past during Mercury retrogrades anyway, pile number 3, you might actually hear from somebody that you thought didn't give two shits about you. And it's like, well, I guess they've been wondering where I went, or they wondered why I moved, or they wondered where I am, or they are curious about, you know, how I've been or how I feel about them or what's been going on in my world. And, you know, people trying to connect with you. And that might be a little bit scary for you in a way, because it's like, you know, I've just kind of created my own little world where everything's fine. And I don't know if I really want to kind of get back into all of that, you know, because I've been doing good, right? So, you know, drown out the fucking noise and keep doing you, Sparkle Pony, and pile number 3, okay? But, you know, also realize that there is, you know, opportunities for connection for you in this eclipse if you want them, if you're ready for that, and if you want them. And there's also an opportunity for passion and pleasure and creativity. Sometimes passion, pleasure, and creativity can bring some of that drama to the surface, and so can connection. But, you know, and maybe right at the exact time of this eclipse isn't really ready for, you know, maybe it's not the right time to let people into your bubble because it is an eclipse. But, you know, I feel like the astrology of the summer is actually, especially May and June, is pretty good, actually, not bad. There's some nice trines that go on with Venus and Pluto and, you know, different things like that. So Venus, Jupiter conjunctions in Gemini later on, like, you know, there's going to be some nice stuff. So, I mean, I feel like prepare for connection, because that could be something that's coming. If you're wanting to stay in your own little bubble for right now, pile number 3, I totally get it. And keep calm and carry on, my friends. So that is what I am getting for you. I would love to hear your thoughts, your comments, and your feedback. Take care.